by the way, Rebecca.
Sounded like
Oh, okay.
sounds like it was a good time for all those
Who
games.
done it?
It's always good to have the opportunity to play with some people that are just a little bit on the periphery or outside of the sort of
Mm-hmm.
ring of people that you're used to playing with. Just broaden your horizons, make new friends. That's what this gaming community is all about.
Oh,
And sometimes people's gaming styles are different, and you'll come across somebody that uses a spell or an ability in a way that you just hadn't considered before, and
hmm
and it's just fun. Different
Yeah.
jokes, different sense of humor.
It was also interesting because I mean we didn't do any combat at all.
Hmm.
It was
ah,
all RP
Shenanigans.
and snooth and shenanigans.
shenanigans.
All
Yeah.
right. Speaking of combat, Sophia, the initiative card has come up to you with a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Did I persuade you enough to run across the way?
Um,
Or should I roll? Should we roll that out? I
No,
don't
because
know.
because you're both wild cards and you're both PCs, I will not let a roll of a die determine what it is that you
Oh,
wish to
okay.
do. If you stated your case in a convincing fashion, of course Sophia would step out and take the brunt of the oncoming attack on the same initiative card as she has. No problem.
Probably.
And I will say it's vroom vrooming.
I know, I hear it, but it sounds like a good idea, and I trust Ava, and I believe in the power of our friendship. So I'm gonna run with this, literally.
Okay. Yay.
Very good. You have in hand about 13 feet of cord tied together, and at one of the ends, tied schoolboy style,
Hmm.
a stack of 3 reams of paper. I would say it weighs about between 3 and 4 pounds.
Good enough to keep it taut.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna excuse me, chef. I'm gonna open the door, unlock it, then open the door.
Excuse me.
I'm not sure how
She's
that's going to work because
You
Shep
might be
can't
swinging
move
around for a
yet.
second. Oh, okay. Shoot. I can't hold my action, can I?
Yes, you can.
for like interrupting something, maybe, but I don't think it
I mean,
works this way.
this is up to the DM. I mean, if
You can
he's going to
absolutely.
allow me to readjust, I will. I'm just saying it's not. I don't go until the end of the round.
Scoot you out of my way.
What is it you what is it that you would like to do, Shep?
I'm. I mean, if they're going to like open the door, he's going to have to readjust his footing.
Yeah. We'll say you put your left foot remains on the high
Yep.
perch and you move your right foot to the low perch, the second
Okay.
shelf, and you brace yourself with your hand up along the rim, the sill of that louver door, and you really, I guess you could hold with your left hand, you could hold the top braced, uh, the top shelf of this sort of enclosed metal case. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, sure you can do that. It's precarious, but you're kind of braced in the corner, so you've got good anchor points.
Okay.
Sophia, you can open that door after unlocking it. Sure.
I will do so. Excuse me, chef. I'm sorry, and I will run on out. Does this door? Is it open? Does it open?
It does open, but it's closed, and the fact that it would open into its room means that it doesn't pull out your way, so it's pretty sturdy. You don't have to worry about it opening into the hallway. In other words,
I'm going in.
I mean, you don't. Okay, let's see. I wonder if it's locked. I wonder if it is locked. I will say that there is a
Oh.
10% chance that it is locked. 10%. A 47. It is not locked. The door swings into that room easily. You enter.
Okay. I'm entering the room and then I'm closing the door, still holding the thing.
So you're holding the ream of paper. Or no, you're holding the other end.
The other end.
Okay. Where is the ream of paper? The stacks of three of those paper packets.
I don't know. But did Ava give that to me?
I didn't give those to you, I don't think. I was going to use it for the door handle on our end, so that way we can keep it taut whenever the thing runs through, because Lord knows we're all noodle arms.
So are you saying that you are each holding one end of this long apparatus?
No, the idea was have the cord. She'll take one end with the reams of paper, tie it around it, put it, since the handle is long ways, right, with the little hook thing, the bevel, so you can handle it. She's going to take the cord, put it onto that while it's locked so it doesn't move.
Okay.
And it'll keep it taut when we close the door.
Okay, so I think that Sophia does have the ream of paper because that is what you would have proffered to her, not the
Okay.
unpaper
Because it would
end.
be like so.
End. But she, you see past Shep. It looks like she went across and entered that room and shut the door. And it looks like the cord is extruding from the doorway at about doorknob height, door handle height. Because these are not vacuum sealed doors. You can shut the door on, especially because this is the slimmer version of these utility cords.
That works, so we can make it work that way. Then you do have the reams to hold, so that way you don't have to focus on your own strength of holding this thing together.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have to rely on our noodle arms. We can use the environment to our advantage.
Shep, just make me a straight up notice roll.
Who?
Shep.
Thank goodness.
Okay. You are taller than Ava, and even though you are on the second and third shelf, one hand holding on to the sill of the louver, the other hand holding the front of the top shelf of this sort of sheet metal shelving. You look out, and it looks like the copying machine is not moving. And it goes to your turn.
Is it still making noises?
Doesn't seem to be.
'Cause-
It's no longer rocking back and forth, and I think the impact of the caster wheels against the tiled floor as it rocked left and right is probably what you heard more than any mechanical gears whirring or it stopped. Its jaw, crocodile-like, has stopped flapping and it is now closed.
I think we're in a waiting game.
Are we having a standoff with a copier?
It looks like it. Shep's more concerned because he sees blood dripping off of Ava since the doors are closed. He
Rip my
wants
leg.
to he wants to see if he can actually use his first aid kit and do some just bandaging up with his heal skill.
I think what I hear is you wish to jump down to the ground, pull your medical kit out of your backpack.
Backpack. hmm And try to heal, bandage Ava up a little bit.
Okay. There will be no game effect until you've spent 10 such minutes applying the healing skill.
Okay. But I do believe that's what he would do in the meantime, since
Okay.
he's just waiting to see if that we'll know one way or the other if it tries to ram a door or go through.
While you're pulling the healing kit out of your backpack, you look through the window of this that is inset into the door, not the louver up at 7 feet,
Mhm.
but the actual window right above the handle. You look through and you see Sophia looking at you through a window across the hallway, about 10 feet away.
Yep.
It's like
And
nothing.
there is a cord kind of just dangling as it has been shut into the lintel, into the framework of the door, and it's just kind of hanging. It's kind of low. This side hasn't really been affixed to anything. It's just the pressure of the door jam on the door, holding it shut.
Shep's just a genetic engineer. He knows nothing.
Give him a helix. Give him a
I
helix,
wanna-
and he knows all about it. But this sort of thing,
Right.
not so much. All right, we'll go to the next round.
Gosh, that's funny.
Sophia, you're first. It looks like your friends didn't properly affix the cord yet to the handle across the hallway, but in fact, it's been less than 6 seconds that have elapsed since you shut the door and did secure your end. What would you like to do? You're looking through and you see Shep looking through. Looks like he's rooting through his backpack for something, but he's casually taking a glance at you.
I'm just gonna say, remember the plan.
Remember the plan.
I don't think Shep has lip reading, so he doesn't know what you're saying.
Shep's like, I don't
Like
can't
speak.
hear-
pointing down, like
I don't speak Chicago.
All right, Sophia. Anything else? I'm happy to advance to Ava.
I'm just gonna make sure that it's everything's secure on my end here, and a quick glance around to make sure there's nothing in here with me.
Okay. On your end, everything is stout and secure, and there are tables and chairs. Say a set of like lab tables with 4 chairs around each. We'll say there are 6 such tables. Big marker board on the wall, a couple posters.
Okay.
Nothing threatening. No trees. Oh wait, that wouldn't bother you anymore. Ava,
Maybe she still has nightmares.
would you
Yes.
like to approach and allow Shep to start bandaging maybe with a pair of tweezers start plucking the glass shards out of your arm? Or would you like to do a better job of fixing this extension cord?
I'm going to go over to the door and double check what's happening.
Okay,
And
looks
I
like
will
you need to
take
you need to grab that extension cord, even though it's in the door jamb. Gently open up the door and raise it up, kind of loop it around the handle, and then shut it again.
Yep, that is the plan. She wants to make sure that it is taut and tied around the door handle, so that way it's tight enough.
Okay,
This is
consider it done. You've done a reasonable MacGyver-like job of stringing I guess I'll call it a tripwire, across the hallway. And looking across, you see Sophia behind the window that is inset into the opposing door, saying, "But you don't know you don't know what she's saying." Right?
I was like, what? We're,
It sounds
we're good.
not
And you know what?
exactly
When
We're
she
good.
when she perceives the tension and the positioning of the cord at your end matching what she's done, she probably gives you a wild thumbs up.
Yes, we're good. We're good.
Shep, over to you.
You know, you know.
I, s- I say, hold still, Ava. And I
Oh
start
God.
trying to do my best Erica impression and
Hold still, y'all.
Yeah. Eric could
and
be
try to
like,
help.
"This won't hurt much."
Right. Much. Got
Okay.
friggin' glass all over her leg, probably.
Okay.
Man.
So a round and another round and another round will elapse. We'll say 30 seconds elapses. Shep has plucked several razor sharp shards, little triangular pieces of glass, as they extrude from your bleeding arm, and sort of casts them. Um,
Oh no, he's not going to throw them down here.
well, there's a lot of
They're
glass on the
No.
ground.
yeah.
Keeping
Man.
them. How would you like to keep them? They're going to probably,
Oh
if you put them in your
no,
pockets.
I just wasn't going to throw them anywhere.
Okay.
But there's lots of glass in here.
Yeah.
He would put them over where the glass was.
Okay. I was going to say you could put it on the shelf next to you if you wished, but I mean, just flick it. Maybe lick the blood off and flick it. So there's no blood.
A vampire? Wrong game.
Yeah, like a
We
hungry
don't
damp
really need
here.
blood.
Okay. The you while you're doing this, um, in order to take Ava's mind off of your triage work, you say, has the photocopier moved? And you permit her to shift a little bit. She's up against the door, looking down. Sophia, you look down, and it is not in your field of vision, which means it's either in the same place where it was, or maybe it backed away. But you have like a little bit of an angle to look down that hallway. You don't see it. You don't think you can see where it was when you shut the door.
Oh.
Don't hear anything.
You do not hear anything.
Ah. Can I take a second? If I realize that there is no sound, whereas I am expecting a big crashing noise, I think that I would like to poke my head out of the upper top
Sure,
window.
sure. I say it's hard to say because you've got a stout door with it's a solid old wooden door. I'd say it is fully, if it's not 2 inches, it misses 2 inches in thickness just by a little bit on stout, sturdy hinges. Hearing that, even with the louver open, 7 feet up, um, it'd be hard to hear anything, but sure, you don't hear anything. You open up the door, a crack, and you peer out, probably holding on to the extension cord just in case you need to pull it tight again. You see the copier sitting where it was when last you saw it. It is simply sitting there.
And there's no lights, no nothing?
It is not making any sound. It is not moving. And at least the bright green, the little round lights don't seem to be on. You're not quite close enough to see if that little readout panel still says toner low.
I'm gonna get Shep's attention. Be like, Shep, do you still feel heebie-jeebies from that copier or no? Because it's not lighting up anymore, but I can't tell if it's just trying to scare me. Do you feel any heebie-jeebies?
Do I feel heebie-jeebies, Dean?
You do, but they're not centered on the copying machine.
Are they centered behind us?
They are
saying.
centered all around you, including above and beneath you.
Okay. I'm going to say, let me finish bandaging this.
It's going to take 10 minutes. You're
And
only
then
30
we'll,
seconds in. Unless
yeah,
you just want to do a quick
That's pretty good.
triage with
yeah.
no game effect.
This is just mainly to try to bandage it because
Okay. We'll say you
that's what Shep would do.
you plucked the glass out. There are 2 shards that you can't get to that are embedded under there, like slivers that are under the skin. But you bandaged it up a little bit and perhaps poured a little antiseptic on it.
Okay, yeah, because he just would
Yeah.
try to make sure that
I'll
people
give
were
you,
bandaged
yeah,
up.
I'll give you the benefit of a minute's work or less,
Okay.
just to shore things up. Done.
Okay.
Do we hear the sounds of a screaming cheater?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so the other boy is gone, and we hear nothing coming from here, but Shep still feels heebie-jeebies everywhere. So we
Yes.
still have to finish what's going on here.
The
But
whispers.
I don't trust that copy machine outside.
The whispers.
The whispers.
So,
no, I don't like it. Is there like a pole or something in here that I could have as like a club or a bat equivalent? I'm no scavenger, but in a supply room, maybe do they have one of those pointer sticks as opposed to a laser?
That is essentially a long pencil, not very
Yeah,
sturdy. It would split. But I'd like you to make a
like
notice roll.
sure. Oh, that's just bad.
Nope, no poles here.
There's no poles here.
I told you not to move.
So what happened is you thought for a moment about flipping this, the table that's on the side, flipping it out and taking a good look at it, thinking you could maybe with a Phillips head screwdriver unscrew the plate that holds one of the legs to the bottom of the table and use that as a club of some type. You move the table. Yeah, you manage to shift the table away, and in your exuberance, you strike yourself right on that sore kneecap where you
No.
had been attacked, and you see stars. And I'm going to impose a -2 movement penalty until you can get that thing wrapped up and iced up, and maybe some of Erica's magic Epsom salts, a salt bath, soak that thing. So
At least it's not my butt.
it could always be your butt.
It could
This
always
is
be my butt.
I'm going.
Woe is me! I need someone to carry me across the school grounds. My leg! My leg!
My leg.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
I'm just playing with the interface a little bit here. I don't mess around much with pace, but this is certainly
Alright.
interesting. It lets me add. I'm going to add a sore knee, not a high knee penalty, but a sore knee penalty, and that sore knee penalty is going to be just a -2. In game terms, it probably isn't critical, but I got to do something with that critical failure. So much fun. So much fun for the dean.
Indeed. That's too funny.
Ow, you
I
see
love that.
stars. It throbs most painfully. You hope that you don't need to outrun that thing, because you remember its pace was 8. It was very fast. On those caster wheels, it was able to change direction readily.
Oh my gosh, that's too funny. Well, um, after she has a moment shouting a couple expletives in Spanish from her
Jack,
knee.
The
you
gas.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay,
Well,
so
no, she's having a bad time with her knee, but yeah, she's probably not going to be moving so well. But maybe I will pose the question to Ship that maybe we should uh go see what's going on because we can't stay here forever. What if the rest
Yeah,
of these things come to life?
I know.
Plus, plus the
That's
second floor had some rainbow lights that we didn't even go see. What if there's more stuff down there?
we'll have. I got your. I've got the tourniquet done, so hopefully Erica can do a better job and get you healed up. I can't do nothing about the knee though.
tourniquet is
She's
saying
gonna go deal
it's
with
not
that.
truly a tourniquet. She was not in
That's
danger
funny.
of
Well, I
bleeding
mean,
out. She just had many or several little puncture wounds,
he's
and you,
like wrapped it around and around. That's what
yeah,
he calls a tourniquet.
yeah, yeah,
I'd imagine she has the bandage,
yeah,
those like Walgreens bandages that you can
yeah,
put on your arm. Yeah,
something
It's
like
just
that.
wrapped around and around
Yeah,
and around.
yeah,
yeah,
kind of like an ace bandage with a little pin at the end, that a
yeah.
little clip
Mhm.
that holds it steady. And you don't make it too tight, because you know Erica's told you it's too tight if her hand starts to
Yeah,
turn purple. Periwinkle. You don't want that
that's it.
periwinkle hand.
I was about to say it's periwinkle.
Okay. I mean, you poked out in Sophia. I imagine from curiosity, being a curious um, individual, also, you peer out, and the thing is basically just sitting there on its cart.
Yeah. As soon as I'm done with Ava and everything, Shep would probably open the door
Hmm.
and step outside with his club at the ready.
It doesn't react
Which way do we go to actually go to a different floor? Is it
either way.
where?
Either way. Down this entire length of the hallway, there are double doors at both ends, and there are doors that are they're your firewall, your fireproof um, doors, very heavy, and they both lead, you think, to a stairwell. You know, one definitely does, because that's how you got here.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Which way did we come in at? Because I can't
Past,
remember.
you would have to pass the copying machine to get to the set of stairs that
I will leave it to the girls. Which way?
that's the
Oh, which
closest
way to
way.
go?
That's the closest way. But you know, there's a doorway, a set of doors at the far end as well. And in fact, the calliope of lights, the kaleidoscope of lights, excuse me, is more down the far end of the hallway, but on the second floor.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
so before we leave, let's lock this door. And is it possible to get this copier off this cart here? It's in the
I
hallway
don't.
right now.
I think I say we just leave it alone because this way it doesn't have our fingerprints on it. They can't say nothing about the door handles because we're students, but
But the shelf
yeah,
and the louver and the small ladder, the step ladder,
we touched everything.
and
yeah, but
and
we
the
can't.
outer, sort of,
Yeah,
you know,
fine.
these stacks of paper, a sheaf of them, a ream of them, comes in this paper packet, right? Your
Hmm.
fingerprints are definitely on the packets that you've picked up. to
We
rip them
Jeff's just
to rip them
thinking
open.
we haven't touched the thing that has the most damage.
But
Yeah,
boy, if they
right.
could do forensics on that blood,
My blood.
nothing.
Ah,
I'm trying to think.
But
I
yeah,
think
I
DNA was a thing back then. We were far
oh
I
enough
yeah.
along
think if
forensics that
we if
Oh
it's not attacking us, we don't mess with it at this moment.
okay. You
it's
all step out
Unless
into the
Jeff's ready.
hallway. You lock the door
it's
behind you. I think you said. Sophia, would you like to lock your door or just leave it open, unlocked?
Uh, lock and leave the room once I see them doing
What do you want
the
to do with
same.
3 lengths of cord and 3 sheets of paper that are all tied together into one uh, schoolboy's stack of books?
Put it in a backpack?
Okay.
that's a lot of paper.
Is
Wait.
it?
3 reams of paper are like this fat. 3 of them is heavy.
Yeah, each one weighs
Well,
about a
maybe
pound. I'd say it's a solid like 3 of them,
And
between 3 and 4 pounds.
if
that
you
could be
if
a
you get a
nice piece of armor if somebody shoots you from the back.
Or you could do a lot of artwork on those. They're all like 8.5 by 11.
if you want to
Oh,
take a
hey.
ream of paper, then yeah. But I can tell you from personal experience, a bunch of those freaking reams gets really heavy really fast.
Take one. I could use that later.
We can take the reams and I'll put them on the shelf just beside the door, like the shelf that Shep was standing on. I'll
Okay.
go ahead and put the last reams over there,
Okay.
and then the 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 cord, was the cord just properly, like, is it workable, or was it like
Well, it's 3 cords.
cord?
No, it's 3 lengths of 6 foot utility cord, not the heavy duty
Okay.
bright orange round bore, like rubber
Yeah.
coated sleeve, but the more flimsier uh,
Is it like brown or
cord that
something?
doesn't have the ground prong on it. It's just the two
Yeah.
flat things
Okay.
that you stick
I
into
mean,
the electrical outlet. Prongs.
considering how much of a mess it is in there right now, she would just take the reams of paper, roll up the wire on top of the reams of paper, and put it on the shelf.
You know, one of these utility cords would make a really good choke. Garrote. Is it garrote or garrote? Garrote? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You know, wrap it around somebody's neck like that. It's
yes,
thicker than
that
piano wire, of course, like
Uh,
they
James Bond
are
would use. But
they do very good for that.
and it's
Yes.
it's
Um,
strong. You think it could probably bear your
for
weight if you had to loop it over something and hang from it. It's pretty strong stuff. It's
Ava's small enough to use an extension cord. Yeah, sure. I'll take one. I'll take one of them and
yeah.
see if she can zip line her way like a spy movie
Da
somewhere
da
one
da
day.
da 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 da. So what
That'd be
happens is
glorious.
as you prepare to leave, you're walking down the hallway away from the printer, I imagine. You go to the far end of this third
Yeah.
floor of the Robert E. Lee
God,
Engineering and Applied Sciences building. I'd like
limping my way to freedom.
Shep, please make a smarts roll for me. Okay,
Did it take it?
it did. That little handheld camera,
Okay.
you remember before you leave that you'd set it on the shelf before you went to climb up Spider-Man like. And you almost
Okay.
walked away and left the camera, the handheld, on the shelf.
Grab and go.
Make a notice roll. Blinking lightning bolt display.
Ah. Okay. I put it in the backpack.
Ava, your Tamagotchi is cycling through the feed me screen,
Feed me,
where I guess
me.
the little Tamagotchi, it's like a little cat, and it's looking into an empty bowl, and it's putting its head down and sniffing it. Then it's looking at you, and little heart symbols come out of it, and then it looks back and sniffs the empty bowl again, and looks at
That's
you,
funny.
and the little hearts come out.
I gotta. Uh, I'll have a look at it and feed it and do what it needs so that it'll stop uh chiming at me.
Okay.
Yeah, chiming all this time.
Okay.
I will feed the cute little Tamagotchi pet as we walk down this hallway.
You just fed it before you guys got here. For gosh sakes, this thing eats a lot. That's unusual. You think it should have kept it, I guess, 12 hours or a 24-hour cycle before you have to feed it again. So that's unusual. The lights again on this floor flicker, and the hall lights go out and then come back on again. Just almost like, although they're fluorescent lights, not generally something that would be on a dimmer. That is sort of the effect. And then maybe one of them down the hallway, the way you're going, crackles and sputters and is only illuminating half, and it's fluttering. It's kind of strobing a little bit. You know, like a fluorescent light when it's just about dead. It goes to like this mode where it's kind of grayish. It's not as, and it's still bright, but it's not as bright as its siblings,
And
which
it
makes
does
it
that really bad flicker hum.
yeah. So you guys go the whole length of the hallway. You pass the the restrooms and the staff closet and stuff like that.
Anybody gotta pee? Nobody has to have a potty break.
I'm
Not on
okay.
this floor.
Not on this floor. Right? Yeah. Oh, I know that we did our dark site thing, but I don't know how long it's technically been since then because we did it.
Less than 10 minutes. Combat takes
Okay.
6 seconds. We had 6 rounds of it. That was 30 seconds, and maybe another minute to bind up your wounds a little bit, do a little quick, little rapid triage. You spent some time talking to William, who is um, going
Yeah.
through the prime numbers. Not
Yes.
a tremendous length of time. Where's my
Okay.
pad? Do, 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 do. Yeah,
So
Will
that's cool. All
Johnston.
right, so we'll move our way down. I'll deal with my little Tamagotchi on our way to the second floor, keeping a eye on our backs, I guess,
Okay.
because that copy machine is kind of scary. And I kind of want to put it back in the room, but I also don't want to touch it because it embedded me with glass.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and I'm limping right now because I can't walk that well either. So.
Tamagotchi starts making noise as you clear, say, the door next to the very last door in this hallway.
What is? I just fed you. What do you want? It's like
It's
I
sleeping.
don't understand.
It's sleeping and it's snoring. It's making sleepy noises.
Gosh, if it's sleeping, I'm going to try and turn on the little mute button and see if the mute actually works.
Okay, sure. Seems to.
Oh
Cool.
my,
All right.
it's like
You still
going
see
back to a show.
the little
I
ZZZs
know.
coming out of its head and floating up, kind of like the little hearts were
Yeah.
doing. Yeah,
Yeah.
seems to be. Okay, you go into the stairway. It's a heavy door, but it's unlocked. This one is not ajar, as the other one where you came into this floor is. It opens easily. It opens up into a stairway. This stairwell does not have the additional set of metal stairs that leads up to the roof. It looks like roof access is limited only to the set of stairs that you came up on the far other end of this long hallway. But there is a set of steps, cement, probably with what looks like the little tar paper strips to keep you from stumbling should they be slippery. So safety, the little strips of safety stick on stuff as you, it's sort of like sandpaper, kind of, but it's black. You go down to the second floor. You look at look through the door on the second floor, and you do see kind of that muted kaleidoscope effect again.
And
But the door is
what's his
closed.
name?
You are in the stairwell.
What's his name? Stan.
Yes.
Stan is nowhere to be seen.
No.
All right, cool. Let's go to the colors. No wild boys spotted.
The old Duran Duran. Wild boys. Wild boys.
Let's and we're not blocked from going into this part of the hallway, or
No.
is it?
The only thing standing
Okay.
between you and the stairwell and the
Yeah.
hallway is that stout set of double fire doors that do
Okay.
have the little inset. Again, all these doors, I mean, they're old, but all these doors have that same sort of tall, thin, rectangular window that you can peer through, and you're peering
Yeah.
through a diamond pattern of this wire that goes through the tempered pane, such to make it stronger. In case somebody accidentally is pushing an AV cart and accidentally the corner of it strikes the window pane, it would be clumsy but possible. It would give it a little extra strength.
Okay.
Probably tempered to make it unlikely to burst through extreme heat, say a fire.
Yeah.
That's the only thing keeping you from entering this hallway. And if experience shows it's not locked. OSHA
Well,
would
it
not be
is on my
happy
way there.
if you locked the fire doors.
Yeah.
It'd be a violation.
But if I open the fire door, will it cause the alarm? Is my concern.
No, no, no. These are doors that students use every day to
Okay.
enter the building and get to a floor that isn't the first floor. So, in other words, the
Okay.
second and third floor. No, it is not going to be alarmed.
Okay. Cool. Then Ava will limp her way to this door.
Okay.
Spot. All we see is that kaleidoscopy color coming from a particular room in this
Yeah,
hallway.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Look at this. Maybe they've got
think that way.
a discotheque set up and they're
Yeah.
practicing their mad dance moves. It's 20 years past the disco era, but that is what it kind of reminds you of. We're going to go to
Okay.
a different map here.
I will poke my friends and point at the colors. Be like, is that the main hub of the heebie-jeebies ship? Is that where it's coming from?
Spirit roll at +2.
Okay. Yeah, I got a 4.
The heebie-jeebies are non-directional,
Mm-hmm.
but they are stronger on this floor than they were
They
on the floor above.
they are stronger, but it's not It doesn't point me anywhere. It's just this whole area is heebie-jeebie worthy, but it is
Okay.
stronger on this floor.
I
Oh
I
boy.
I have my salt at the ready.
I, I got some code iron
And the
or some
holy soup
iron.
is so
I I have salt and my
still still live in there.
slingshot. This pepper spray is completely gone now. I do not have any more pepper spray. Uh but I do have salt and I have this slingshot and I
I,
have this water gun.
I can still feed something.
So uh oh, and I have this cord now. That's right.
Maybe you can tie something up.
Maybe I could make a flail out of it with something else. MacGyver myself a flail. Uh, that's what I should do. Uh, but for now, I'm just going to get a cord. Which I guess could count as a whip. I don't know, I'm trying to find something in the items that could kind of be the equivalent. Do, do, do.
Interesting. Interesting.
Uh-oh.
Third floor, second floor. I believe it is that one. Yes, it is. Good. Good. I'm just, getting up the little encounter sheet. Ready to drop a,
Tante, don't fail me now.
drop a few tokens down. And what a wonderfully appropriate time to just take a short break